Hello, my name's Courtney Gibson. I live in the inner city of Sydney, and I called Australian Story because I thought they should make a film about this fantastic man who lives just around the corner. His name, Harold the Kangaroo Thornton. He's an artist, he's 82 years old, and he's been a thorn in the side of the Australian arts establishment all his life.
He's always been cheeky, like a boy, an 80-year-old boy, and he's still got that spirit of childhood and those wonderful sort of eyes of his, you know.
My name is Harold Kangaroo Thornton.
Well, if you read about him, you wouldn't believe him, that he existed, but he does exist, and he's a real treasure in that way.
Tonight's the night, the greatest show on earth.
Harold likes colour, doesn't he?
I think he does. But good colour.
Good colour, lots of it.
Wow. My paintings are my beautiful girlfriends, and I sleep with them, and they never say no. Wow, man. I do sleep with them a lot. I do struggle with everyone.
Yes, not for sale. Not for sale.
There's lots not for sale. I just want to keep them.
Oh, it's Al Grasby. Oh,
Good to see you.
Will you give us a bit of speech? Ladies and gentlemen, we have a honoured guest. Roll up, over here, everybody.
Well, friends, I must say it's always a pleasure to be with my conservative friend, Harold Thornton. When people say I used to dress brightly, they hadn't met him yet. Oh. But we've been friends since he was a boy in Griffith, and believe it or not, he was a wrestler when I met him.
Right.
And he was a champion wrestler. And then he took up residence in a projection box at a deserted cinema.
Harold the Kangaroo is an endangered species, a great marsupial artist who I've known for 14 years. My name's Martin Sharp. I'm an artist as well. And Harold's one of my great brother artists. And you can't help it. He's annoying, but you've got to love him. You know, I hope Harold has many more exhibitions, but I mean, he's putting so much into this one. You know, I mean, he's putting his life on the line to put on a show. He knows it, and we all know it.
You like the hat?
Yeah.
I used to have painted teeth once. I'm only 81, and I'm still a sexy boy. And the women love me, and I still love the women.
Great to see you. Haven't seen you for ages.
Great, nice, eh? I got kissed to death nearly Friday night. That's heavy. No wonder I'm exhausted. I don't care about wealth. See, I'm rich in art. I don't need the money. I didn't have to try to get rich. I tried to get good art. That made me rich. Enough to do this, see?
Harold's one of the best. He might be from the wrong side of the tracks as far as, you know, the artistic tracks, as far as the art world's concerned, but he's a real McCoy. He's stuck to his dream, and I know how it's been incredibly tough for him, incredibly tough. And I mean, I hate to think of the pain he's putting himself through now to get this show on, you know, with very little support.
The established art world takes a big view of me, but they said to me, "Oh, Harold, why don't you make up your mind where you're going to be an entertainer or an artist?" I says, I'm both, because it's a part of it. All the great painters were showmen.
Harold's a major figure in Australian art. He mightn't be the sort of suave, sophisticated artist that people would hope. He's probably the senior artist in Sydney, I suppose, at the moment. And there's a ton of curators. They're pouring them out of art schools and art universities and things, but no one's curating Harold's work. You know, Harold has to curate his own shows, basically.
Martin Sharp called me, must have been 5 or 6 years ago now, and said that Harold had some wonderful work, but it was in Amsterdam. When I said to Harold, all right, mate, I'll bring it back, I mean, I was expecting, a couple of rolled-up pieces of canvas, not knowing that really what Harold wanted was, the side of a cafe and a couple of monstrous things. And we showed it in a big exhibition, and it was good, it was fantastic. In all honesty, it was terrific to see not only people's reaction to the work, but to see some of Harold's early paintings, especially around Darlinghurst of the 40s and the 50s, I found fascinating.
It was a great meeting between him and Ken Doane, and they had a strange sort of brotherhood of outsiders in the art world.
He's had a bit of a struggle, and I suppose I have in some ways, but, I can't complain, mate. I mean, I've got a big gallery and I can basically do what I want to do. We've all worked, I suppose, outside of the existing gallery structure. That's okay. I mean, in the end, there are no rules, but sometimes the art establishment, if there are or is such a thing, almost inevitably, historically, are behind rather than ahead.
I think art, well, in general, needs a stirring up. I say put the fun back in art. But they'll never do anything right while they lock themselves in the gallery and think they're arrogant, think they're somebody. That's when they fail. And that should come out to the people, poke itself out. Like me, see, I'm a showman. Oh, yes, Peter Weir. Count Vim's Last Exercise. That's his first movie, really. I was a count, so I was supposed to die, and every time I died, the cast laughed. I'm a very funny dyer, see.
Now all is in readiness. But it's time. Quick, departure master. It's 9 o'clock, he's 65. Handle that sandwich carefully. That poison banana sandwich carefully. Now, Vim, it's your chance to show the state. Take it, Vim, take it. Courage, Vim. Bite deeply. And he's fallen. Well fallen, Vim. A beautiful fall.
When Harold did that great painting of Dr. Brown, which should have won the Archibald Prize, it was definitely the best picture there. But it was 100% genuine. I mean, he'd painted the signs in it. There was all that were painted within the painting. He'd taken part in that campaign to save the Franklin.
The Franklin needed to be saved, so I went down to help. And I worked in a little tiny room all night with a little tiny light and to get out banners. And I made when I come in, they arrested me for the head. I had a head, a little head. I had a big head. Made it like out of wire and canvas. My face open like that, and there's a tongue coming out saying, "No dams."
The director of the Wilderness Society, Dr. Bob Brown, faced the court last night.
I had to paint that. I couldn't resist it.
Hobart's Risdon prison on remand until Christmas Eve.
The painting that he did about saving the Franklin is a terrific piece of social commentary. Not only is it a great picture, it's a great piece of social commentary, and that's the kind of painting that, if anybody in any of the gallery here had, more than sixpence worth of brains, should never leave the country.
The Archibald Prize destroyed me. I thought there was something wrong with me. It wasn't something wrong with me, it was something wrong with them. So they can destroy a young artist like that.
He's always been a stirrer, Harold. So I guess if you stir, you can't expect them to be grateful for it. But he's got them on a spot because they can't deny how good he is, you see. But they're trying very hard.
I'm on my own, like a country toilet. I don't belong to no nothing. No dealers got me. I promote myself. They like you to crawl, some of the dealers. They don't crawl.
It's fun, isn't it? I mean, there's no point in ringing us up in 25 years, is there, and saying, Harold, you were fabulous, because more than likely, Harold will be under the gum tree by then, and it'll be all over. I think we should sometimes just look at what artists are doing, especially towards the end of their career. A lifetime devoted to making paintings, it's worth a look.